children, you would change. That means you decided that you would no longer be living for yourself, but you would be living as an example for your children. Mm-hmm. And a lot of times it takes men to break certain seeds and certain generational curse of your children. So what advice and what would you suggest to men out there who are maybe not saved or who desire to be saved? What advice would you give them to push to break curses off of their family? What route would they take? What would you advise them to take?
Before I touch that, I mean, what I would like to say, because what's going on, like, why so much men out there, is because they never was embraced, like, at home. I never, like, where a father could hug me and say, I love you, son. I never had that. Wow. And men feel like more safe with others on the streets, with their friends on the streets, because they go into the same thing. Most of them are from broken homes, same set way. So we could relate, basically, and saying, I don't care if I live or die, because I never knew my purpose based on, like I said, I never had a father who could teach me, okay, the ways of God, godly principles. And at the end of the day, like, what happens is this: men feel more comfortable out there on the streets than in their homes. And they began to lose their way, in other words, where they don't take care of responsibilities.
Good night once again. We encourage you to like and share tonight's episode. We have on tonight's show Pastor Alfred Gibson and Reverend Cecil Moore, and they are speaking to us on Can You Survive? Yes, you can.
Pastor Champion, thank you. What motivates you, or how do you become motivated each day as a man of God to put your best foot forward for God and in your position?
Wow, what motivates me? I have to say, what motivates me, what gets me to keep pushing, is my household, my wife, and my adopted daughter, and my sister-in-law. They have keep me motivated. You understand what I'm saying? I listen, I watch them, you know what I mean? And they go to prayer every morning, and they have that drive. So you only don't have the drive, or you can pick up the drive and move forward. You understand what I'm saying? So just by watching them and understanding, okay, hey, they do it. There's nothing wrong. And trust me, to be honest with you, I used to think waving in church, that's soft. Right? As a man, doing this, honestly, you feel soft. So you trying to find a macho way to do it, so you try to ball your fist, or you try, and I tell you the truth, there isn't a macho way to serve God. You understand? So with me, most of the time, I have sometimes even, because you have to encourage yourself, as the young man who was here before, they say you have to encourage yourself. You have to encourage yourself. Because nobody can encourage you when you want to be encouraged. I wouldn't say they wouldn't encourage you, but the time that you feel that you need to be encouraged, it's the time that you don't get to encourage. So you have to encourage yourself. You understand? And you got to push hard. You understand? The word of God is there. For instance, there are sayings, and I always go by this saying. This saying, honestly, is motivate me all the time. Only a fool learn from his own mistakes. A wise man learn from the mistakes of others. You understand? Then the next motivational word that always stick with me is be the change you want to see in the world. You understand? Yes, many people say, okay, man, I don't have to do this. Man, you have Christians out there doing this or doing that. Oh, you have pastors doing this and doing that. Then you be that pastor that should be doing the right thing. That the other pastors that are doing the wrong thing will learn from you.
Yes.
So now you are being the change you want to see in the world. But how is it that we tend to push back? As men, honestly, as men, we tend to push back. How you feel comfortable watching women pushing, and men ain't pushing when you supposed to be, mind you supposed to be leaders. But you tend to fall in the format of being a follower when you was called to lead. And you force the woman to go in a realm what wasn't even really designed for her, but she had to pick it up. It wasn't really designed for her to lead, but then she had to lead because why? You are out of place.
Yes. My God.
You understand? So my advice to you is get back in place.
Amen.
Get back on track.
Amen.
Rev, you have anything to say on that before?
He said it all.
You know, even when he spoke about men thinking waving, is a little on the soft side, I wanted to ask ask a question, or for you to tell the other men out there that wants to be saved, but they think it's only for soft guys, or tell them how can you still be a man and be saved at the same time.
Still cry.
For many who know me, like I said, I came from a broken home, and like I had a lot ball up in me, but I was macho. Parents, you have to be very careful. Like when your son fall down at an early age, you tell him, "Oh, boy, don't cry. Only girls is cry." They got feelings too, because at the end of the day, you creating a monster. You don't even realize it. At the end of the day, what's gonna happen? All that ball up inside him, and when he do explode, and he act out the character, you looking at him strange, like, boy, how you get so, and didn't realize you create that monster.
Wow.
What I'm saying to is, like, we have feelings. We need to be embraced. We need to hear the word, "Son, I love you," and like Pastor Champ was saying just now. When you realize your position as you were called to lead, how can you feel comfortable seeing that a woman taking your place, you being a replacement? That basically that should motivate you to get back in position when you see a woman in the spot where you're supposed to be.
Awesome.
So at the end of the day, like when I came to Christ, like I said, I was hard out there. I never cried. When God break me, I had the rock snotty. I didn't realize, like that could have happened, but God had to broke me, had to take some, break me down and to build me over.
That's an awesome point. And I want to ask this because even in light of what T. Ron would have said as our guest earlier, he said that if the older generation is the generation that's saved and they died out and the younger generation is not saved, who's going to be the saved ones for generations onward? So what can be done as their senior generation to encourage them? What can be done to pull them in and to keep them in? As as pastors and reverends and older leaders, what could be done to influence this next generation to push forward?
Reverend, touch it up first.
Well, I feel we fall off as older men, wherein the guideline from years ago from our forefathers, what was set in place, I think that was moved. The old landmark has been moved. How it has been moved is based on, like, the fathers no longer, like one time ago, even if my father was not in my home, the next door neighbor, if he see me out of place and doing something was not right, he could have chased me.
Yes.
And what happened now, even in the school, I couldn't go to school and say, well, the teacher beat me for this, and come home and be comfortable with it. Because not only that I would get chastised by my parents, but whoever in the neighborhood here, they'll be able to chastise me also.
Yes.
So that has been taken away.
Just to touch on what Rev just said. You understand? Me, I grew up in a house where there were certain rules, there were certain boundaries. Matter of fact, okay, this may sound funny to you all, I only thought there were two parts of the chicken. A wing and a drumstick. Because when you are a certain age, that's all you get. You're an adult. So you're an adult. So you get a wing and a drumstick. You understand? Do you know a lot of people, honestly, this might sound jokey. I wanted to get old to eat a Whopper. I didn't want to get, this might sound Facebook, I know you're laughing and you may say a Whopper. I wanted to eat a Whopper. Let me tell you why, when you was a certain age, you either get a kid's meal or you get a junior. And I looking at the Whopper and I see the juice and I want to eat that Whopper. I wanted to grow old enough that I could buy myself a Whopper. And the thing is, when I finally got to eat the Whopper, I see why they told me you gotta be a certain age, because I couldn't finish it. It was too big. But yes, and a lot of things has changed. You understand? When you have young kids on the same par as their mommy. You have parents and mothers and fathers and sons going to the bar and drinking together. Yeah. They hanging together. That's my friend. That's my pal. Your mommy is or your daddy is not your pal. That's your mommy and that's your daddy. Yes. But a lot of that has gone. Now you have girls. I don't want to bash on the girls. Girls are now, baby is the new thing that's out. Baby is the new price. If you didn't know, that's the new product. You understand what I'm saying? If it's not cool, you are not cool if you don't have a product on your side. What is the product? A baby. Now they got the baby. Now they forgot that you got to take care of the child. So now the problem is the reason why we having so much things happening in this time right now, because you have kids having kids and they raising kids, and you have parents leaving the children to raise themselves.
True.
You understand? So me, I mean, they keep using that word seasoned. You know what I mean? That's seasoned. Being a leader, I would say we need to go, like Rev said, go back to the roots. The same way how you telling people, okay, do not buy your processed food, do not buy your vegetables, grow your own farm. Well, we need to start tilling our ground and going back to the roots from where our parents, our grandparents, I don't even say our parents. You understand? Our grandparents has taught us and taught us the way. You understand? Because they did it. You have people in the Bible, that's why the Bible was there. The Bible was created for you to understand, for you to see what they did wrong. So whatever you think you are going to do, or what you think that, okay, by I do it, nothing been done. There's nothing new under the sun. Everything you're trying to do has already been done.
Could I touch on something too also, even what Pastor John was saying? In no way, if a father's in the home, he should allow his son to come in any kind of time. And if he lead by example, first of all, when I say lead by example, I cannot be drinking in front of my children and tell them, boy, you don't drink. That ain't making no sense, because at the end of the day, even when I was small, don't care what I hear about my father, even though he was in there, I still think he was like a God to me. Like, that's my God. I want to be like him. So, and I think it was cool just to be like my father, even though he was in there. And when I say here, you know, the things like he's a bad man and this and that inspired me, okay, well, I want to be like my daddy, until I grew and I understood, you know, the values of life. What I'm saying too is this: how is it possible, like in this day and age, that the children don't even ask no more, say, well, daddy, could I go to the movies or something like that? They telling you, daddy, I going to the movies. In my house, if you say you go into the movies, first of all, I gotta see who turning the key. What I'm saying to you is this: even if, like I see in some homes, they tell the kids, well, the mother or the father would say, no, you ain't going. I going. We'll have to figure that out. We'll have to work that out to see what's going on right there, to see who's the man in the house. You know, and that's where discipline. You don't always have to, I learned, you don't always have to beat a child. There's certain things you can take away from them, and, you know, it will demonstrate discipline and rulership, you know, what you want to be set in your house.
Very powerful. You're doing an awesome job.
For those who are just tuning in, we are here live tonight with Pastor Alfred Gibson, the husband of the founder of Kingdom Connections, and we're here with Reverend Cecil. And the topic is still, you can survive. Can you survive? Yes, you can. And in reference to what Reverend Cecil was saying when he was considering the way a father would act towards his children, so I feel as if the value of fatherhood has left when it comes to the younger generation, because oftentimes we hear the young men often say, well, I can buy my daughter this, my daughter, I can buy her Jordans, and I can buy her this, a tablet, this and that. It's more based on materialistic things rather than back then, when I think more fatherhood was basically based around quality time with your child, moving them in the right direction, spiritually, physically, you were there. I know nowadays, before time when you say, I can take your daddy on you, that would have probably gone fair the child higher, because they know through over their daddy plan. They're like, what do you think went wrong, and how can that be fixed?
Well, like I say, because many of the fathers have abandoned their mission as fathers. I could state something what had happened in my life. Even though my father wasn't there, my mother was brutal. When I say brutal, like, okay, say for instance, there was an instance where, like, my mother would send me to the shop, and on the way to the shop, I would see a toy on the side of the road, because I didn't have it like how other kids had it. And if I bring that in the yard, the first thing she can ask me, where you get it from? Carry it back. And I have friends, you know, like, who live next door. They couldn't wait till I carry it back so they could bring it back. And when you bring something I find, you know, that's war. But at the end of the day, like, I understood what she was saying. Because, okay, nowadays, what's happening, a lot of parents are allowing their sons to bring in stuff in the home, and they're trying to find out where it come from. So, I would say to many of the parents, even if the father's not there, monitor your children, especially your sons. Because at the end of the day, and sit down and try to find out what's going on with them. Because that has left our society, and because of that, that's why you have so much young men acting out, because there's no concern anymore.
Pastor Chuck, we see that you're still dressed in work apparel. Question, as a man of God on the job, how do you maintain your standard and to motivate and to encourage others to, you know, go after the things of God?
Well, on a job, remember now, you on a job. You are a different set of people on a job. Some saved, some ain't, and you basically have the majority that is not saved. So what are you to do? You understand? First thing first, they said it, praying, and a lot of fasting, and a lot of reading your word. You can find, get to love him, because you can find yourself lunchtime by yourself doing that. You understand? And you have a lot of people who want to change you on the job, but you have a lot of Christians that fall weak.
My God.
That fall, instead of standing strong and holding it out, they fall into so they start to point fingers and say, okay, but you're supposed to be saved, and you doing this and you doing that, and you saying this and you saying that. But once you be that light, and you don't let your guard down, remember, you can't let your guard down at no time. Especially on the job. You don't let your guard down, I guarantee you, I 100% guarantee that you will have great success in winning souls for the kingdom, and basically great success on your job. So you don't have to, you people want to say, okay, I can do this, or I can do that, or I can indulge in this, indulge in that. And then they start, trust me, they're going to call you names. They call you, but you stuck up, you believe you better than people, you believe you this, and you don't worry about it. You understand? You just stand. But then you have a lot of Christians. They are too holy on the job that they can't even get to the level for people to talk to them. You understand what I'm saying? Because, okay, for instance, I went to the shipyard. In the cafeteria, they play domino. So if I'm there, they playing domino, and I over here, how am I supposed to reach them if I stick into myself? You understand what I'm saying? I don't say you must indulge in foolish conversations or indulge in things what you think they are doing, but that is wrong. But how you supposed to win them if you staying way over there and everything will come with your motives? Hallelujah. Praise the Lord.
And even Pastor Champi, even Jesus dwelt among the gamblers, among the sinners. So you know, I agree with what you're saying.
So with that, in that, trust me, it couldn't be said no better than that. It's just a matter of when you are being conformed. You understand? You are people dictating your walk when you're supposed to know your walk. So you have a sinner man telling you about your walk when you're supposed to be telling him about the walk. You understand? So who leading who?
It's so amazing that you're asking that question, because I work to the shipyard, and before I was afflicted, I also worked at Bradford Marine, and they had the Bradford Marine 90 men working there, and Abraham said, God told Abraham said to God, Lord, if you find 10, would you save one? Wow. You couldn't find basically 10 righteous. And so it was a test for me, wherein even if they drink it, Van Rev, get a little bit for the stomach's sake. But I had to hold a standard. I didn't know how valuable I was to them and how much I meant to them until I was taken off the job, based on they would call me. And even some of them, they would have situations on the job and they'll put me on the side, apart from everybody, and say, man, Rev, I have this situation going on. So it made me to keep my integrity and realize, okay, they depended on me. And what was amazing about it, even though the same set used to challenge me, what tests my walk with God. And after I left, they'd say, Rev, man, you don't know, you used to keep us going. And I couldn't believe, these the same set who used to give me challenge every day.
In this Christian walk, you're going to go through. All right? How do we know you're going to go through? Or how you know certain situations is going to happen? When you read the word. For instance, you have the woman with the issue of blood. All right? Then you have the Shamanite woman. Then you have the prodigal son. Now, just to name a few. You can name a lot, but just to name a few. You will sit down and wonder, why does these three people that I called doesn't have no name? The reason being why God could have said, okay, that was Paul, or that was Cheryl, whatever. Reason being because he knew in this time you are going to go through. And when you read the word, you're going to say, well, I didn't go through that because Cheryl went through that. So not because Cheryl went through that, that means I can go through that. No, the woman with those people didn't have no name because why? You could put your name there. You understand? That's why they name. For instance, just like when you have a blank spot, they say, when you follow the application, they say, blank is so and so age. Okay, so now on that blank, you put Alfred or whatever name that you have there. is so and so age. So that's why that blind spot was there for you to put your name there. So that means you're gonna go through issues. You're gonna be the prodigal son one day. You understand what I said? You're gonna be the Shunammite woman one day. You understand? So one of those things you might follow. So in the Bible, it teaches you these things, that the fact that you are going to go through. So don't think about it and say, okay, I feel like I keep the church collection, or I feel like I slap a Catholic priest. They say these things. I tell you. I feel like I rob. But no. These people went through. That's why it said again. Only a fool learns from mistakes. The wise man learns from mistakes of others. The Bible teaches you all the mistakes people make. Even the Israelites teach you all those things these people do.
That's right.
Could I even carry it further what Pastor Champ was saying? Like when he spoke about the woman or the issue of blood. God teach me recently that each one of us have a story, even though we hear history. Listen to it. His story. In other words, every one of us have a story to tell. Now, ain't everyone willing to listen to our story. That's why some people write books. The mere fact, what God want to do is like shine His glory amongst the image, His image and His likeness, which is supposed to be many of us, you know, but even the ones who are born again, you could say, are created in His image and after His likeness. The mere fact that His promises are sure. God showed me, like after I got saved, He showed me I was going through, after He showed me where I supposed to